Hey, it's nobody again. Um, got sort of a script this time. Sober October daily vlog number 5. It's the afternoon, so there's still lots of today left. I don't perceive any problems. Everything's fine. Green tea seems to be the trick. Smoking could be doing better, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, I felt like I should talk about something about mental illness since that's kind of what it's about. So I just figured I'd put it in here. I'm at a park. Hopefully nobody comes by while I'm doing this. But sadness versus depression. Like a lot of people get them mixed up. So I'm gonna try and straighten that out for some people. Sadness is basically a normal reaction to loss, problems, disappointment. Usually doesn't stick around very long. It's usually very surface level thoughts. Um, Typically, it won't affect your daily life in a huge way, like depression will, which is, whew, now we're going to get into it. So, depression's obviously different. So, depression is a mental illness. It affects your mood, the way you see yourself, others, how you react with them, your environment, and how you deal with everything, really. It's a complete game changer on just your train of thought and what you're willing to do versus what you're not willing to do. And yeah, it's you don't come out of it quickly. So definitely a lot different than sadness. There's also sometimes no reason for depression. Like my own, when I was diagnosed at 15, I think there was, which I'll maybe get into another day, that kind of started it all. But since then, it ebbs and flows for no particular reason with events in my life. Like I could be having good days, nothing bad's happening, and then just I'll wake up and boom, I'm just right down there again. So for me personally, it's all about management, and because through my own experience, 30 plus years with it, I just at this point, or years ago now, I guess, I realized I'm not gonna overcome it. It's not going anywhere. So it's just about how to deal with it and manage it and try and keep going, which is kind of the point of this channel, I guess. Um, Yeah, so trying to figure out why it came on or what started it is a lot of the time just a waste of effort and time because, like I said, there could be no reason. There could be, but a lot of the time there's not. Uh, so, how do you feel when you're depressed? Well, the common ones are hopelessness, worthlessness, guilt, anger, and irritability. And I can certainly attest to the hopelessness and the worthlessness. And I don't know about guilt. I don't get too guilty over things, but I definitely question decisions and overthink, but that's more of an OCD, ADHD thing, which I'll talk about another time. Trying to stick to the depression stuff, right? It affects your ability to think straight and make good decisions, which I can highly attest to, as I have an addictive personality. Kind of went through everything when I was younger, booze for a while, drugs for a while. Eventually, after I had my kid, though, I couldn't do that all the time, so I landed on gambling, and that's kind of been my vice since. I didn't really officially give that up for October, but I just try not to do it really, so all the time. So I don't need a month for to not gamble. Just try not to do it. And I'm really broke after last month because of the big mental swings I had and the amount of money I just blew on nothing. Gambling, funny enough. So there you go. As yeah, you tend to lose interest in all the things that you like and self isolate whenever possible. Um, and that's where I forgot to write this down, but that's where like sober October kind of ties into depression is drinking, drugs, anything to just not feel this way, right? It's total escapism. It's total self medication, as it were. You're just trying to just not to feel those lows. You don't want to be there. So it's a lot. There's probably a lot of reasons people are addicts and stuff, or alcoholics, which I can't speak to personally because I've never really been an addict as far as drugs go or as alcohol goes. Like I can take or leave the alcohol, it's fine. It's nice on a warm day, I guess, but I'm not a big drinker. And when I had to give up the weed, I just did because anxiety attacks that last 4 hours are no fun. So a lot of the psychological signs that come, physical signs that come along with depression. I can't even read my own writing. I bet you couldn't either. Sleep, appetite, either way. You could have increased appetite, which is my problem, or just no appetite. Your energy obviously dips off as you don't want to do anything or interact with anyone. And it just random aches and pains can be a thing too. But the last thing is kind of the dark turn here. When you get depressed enough, when you go down the rabbit hole far enough, um, your thoughts get really dark, and you do tend to focus on death and suicide. And why am I here? What's the point? Why am I wasting my time? Why am I wasting everyone else's time? So that definitely happens. I was suicidal a little bit earlier this year for no particular reason, not over my summer stuff that I went through. So, strangely enough, it never triggered it, um, but depression is very real. So for those of you out there who say people with depression, you know, buck up, cheer up, you'll be better, just push through, it'll all be fine. As someone with depression and someone who can confidently speak for people with long-term depression, this is what we all want to tell you, but we don't because we'd rather just you go away. So be mindful of that when you're dealing with someone. It is treatable though. There's lots of things you can do for it. Obviously talk to your doctor first and foremost and go from there, or there's plenty of helplines out there. I'm in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada, so there's like national numbers and stuff you can call, but the big thing is when you're self-isolating and you're alone and you're worthless and you're in that spot, it is not going to get better until you reach out for help. So it does start with you. So it goes back to my normal message and outro, which is basically if you think your mental health is at risk or you're in distress, please talk. Someone will listen. Thanks.